Hi everyone, my name is Abigail Rothenberger and welcome to The Rationale. Today I'm going to talk about something that doesn't really get a whole lot of thought put into it when people want to argue about it. People are either like really for it or really against it, and nobody really wants to do their research on it because it's a dumb topic that we shouldn't be talking about. But here it is. Is universal health care right for America? Have my trusty note cards here for my information. So, I'm gonna try and prove my side as best I can, and you guys are just gonna have to accept that. This is the best I can do. In order to understand how universal health care would work for America, we need to kind of understand how it works in other countries, and I'm gonna use Australia as an example just for this video. Australia has around 25 million people, which is just a mere fraction of the 329 million people that are in America. So they can afford to have a much smaller healthcare budget in Australia because they don't have as many people to care for. And even though they can afford to spend less on healthcare because they have less people, they even spend less per person per year. Like, they spend $2,800 per year per person, and we spend $11,000 per person per year. Where's the disconnect? Don't get it. Maybe it's because Australia has highly regulated pricing for all their healthcare services. In Australia, you might pay $215 for an MRI, but in the US, it's over $1,000. Doesn't make sense. It's the same treatment, just it's more expensive here in America. Why does that make sense? Why does that make sense to the government? It doesn't. In short, it doesn't. In Australia, you can spend a day in a hospital and only have to pay $800 without insurance. In America, it would be upwards of $5,000. If you are having a baby, you might want to consider traveling to Australia when you're due because they only spend $5,000 for a vaginal birth, where in America they pay $11,000. Still not understanding what the difference is. It's the same damn thing. So let's just stick with this theme of having a vaginal birth. If the US paid for every single vaginal birth like Australia does, we would spend about $41.6 billion every year just on vaginal births. Yeah, that's a lot of money. And that's before all of the doctor's appointments and postpartum depression treatment and, vaccinations for your child, if you're into that. Even though $41.6 billion seems like a lot of money, that's really only about 1% of our healthcare budget. In Australia, the numbers look a little different. A lot different, actually. Australia's numbers look just a little different. A lot different, actually. Australia would pay $14 billion a year, which is only 0.8% of their healthcare budget, which is a hell of a lot different than in America. Again, not seeing disconnect, not seeing, there's no, difference in care. It's just regulated in Australia, so I'm not really understanding why we're not getting the hint. Another way they might be getting away with this is the fact that Australia is way healthier than America. In the years 2014 and 2015, only 27.8% of Australians were classified as obese. In America, it's about 38% in the years 2015-2016, which is a lot higher when you compare the amount of people that we have. Yeah. So then, therefore, they're going to have less rates of heart disease and high blood pressure and all of the things that come with being obese. They're going to have lower statistics of. So they are going to be way healthier in the long run, and therefore there will be less doctor's visits, less hospital stays, less need for treatment in general. So just in short, Australia is way healthier. I'm going to go ahead and conclude that universal health care is definitely possible for America. I'm not seeing where the difference is in care, but we pay way more for every single treatment than any other country. There's no reason that I should be paying like 5 times what an Australian pays for an MRI. It's the same damn machine, it's the same damn care, same nurses, same everything. So I don't really understand why we pay so much more. If the pricing was regulated, then maybe we would start to see some improvement, except for it would have to happen really slowly so the economy doesn't crash. Like, for example, let's say that instead of paying $5,000 a day, the pricing is regulated so that I only pay $1,000 a day in a hospital. That hospital's no longer making the money that they were. So now possibly they can't employ the same amount of people, and they can't keep purchasing the same equipment that they were using. And so the quality of care in that hospital just starts to decline and decline and decline and decline. And so people stop choosing to go to that hospital, and so that hospital doesn't get more money, and the cycle just keeps going and going and going and going and going, and the economy crashes. That's how it works. It would have to happen like really slowly if it's gonna happen at all. So that's all I have for you today. If you like this video and want to hear me rant more about politics in the future, you can go ahead and click the subscribe button down below and leave a like if you enjoyed it. Leave a comment with any questions you might have about universal health care or any other topics that come to mind, and I will do my best to answer them in a future video. I am Abigail Rothenberger, and I will see you next time on The Rationale.